Hello everyone, welcome to Grow Your Future with Luxland. I'm Zah, CEO of Luxland Investments, and today we have a very, very special podcast for you. I'm very, very excited. But first, hello Jade.
Hi.
Hello Mark.
Hey, how are we?
Good evening.
Yes.
Now we've got
Hi, Roh.
we've got the CEO and founder of Populis. His mission is to create a better version of yourself through all of his products. We've got the happiness platform, Master the Art of Sales,
Correct.
and
The
leadership framework.
Yeah.
This guy is the absolute king of sales. He is my friend, mentor, and business partner, Roh Singh. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. I love what you guys do.
This has got to be one of the most exciting podcasts, I think, this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Look, I'm pumped. I watch all your stuff, right? And I get excited. And as you know, I'm messaging you guys while you're doing it. I love watching you guys grow. I just love the fact that you guys are actually helping people become better. Okay? And I know you guys talk it up as far as financial wealth, etc. But underneath that, the core basis of what I love about what you do, all three of you, is it actually makes people realize the better version of themselves. It gives them the courage to get out there and live, right? Instead of being fearful. So you take the fear away, which is what I love, right? And this is why I think your following is just multiplying. The other day you put a post up with me, and all of a sudden I woke up with 100 new invitations from friends. So hook me up. It's cool. I love your people.
Well, it's the power of social media, right? Like I haven't been on it for very long, and
Yes.
I think I look back on one of my first posts. It was like June last year, so it hasn't even been a year yet, right? And you know we've concentrated on just putting content out, and it's just been about consistency. This podcast, like every week without a fail, we've always put a podcast out, and we've tried to get influential people like yourself on to, you know, expand on those databases and networks as well. And it's interesting because we get to find out about a lot of successful people, about their failures and what they've done in their lives to get to where they are. And everyone has a different story. And I guess we want you to tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about a background on Roh Singh. Just
Sure.
a little background, not too much because you've done so much, right? But just the good bits.
Well, sure. Firstly, namaste. That's my usual greeting. And that basically means I bow to the divinity in you. Okay. Until I figured out that was my purpose and that's what made my truth, which was to serve. I was accelerating through my own entrepreneurial pursuits as well as corporations. And I've led big companies across Asia, across the world. I've also been an entrepreneur as well. But I started off, my first sales experience, for example, was selling jackfruit as a 6-year-old in Fiji, right? So I can get some pocket money. So I climb up the tree, I cut the jackfruit, and if you know jackfruit, it's sticky. And you put oil in your hands and you chop it up. And I sold them at 15 cents a piece back then. And for a little 6-year-old, that gave me a lot of money.
Big money,
yeah,
big money.
Back in the day, right? So that was really how I got started. I came here when I was 10 years old, worked in the family farm, worked in the markets. So that gave me an idea of how to interact with people, to see the joy in people when they pick something fresh and they love this mango they've never tasted before. Believe me, those days people hadn't had tasted mangoes before. And as a kid, I figured out if we didn't sell everything by 3 p.m., it was going to rot and we'd have to do fire sales, right? So I figured out the value of color, placement, smell, how to use your voice, how to pull people together, and how to really make it a fun and interactive process. If not, I'd be pretty miserable getting there at 4 a.m. and leaving at 7 every day as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, right? So that's just a little bit on me. And I changed out of corporate because I went back to entrepreneurship, in particular developing these programs, the happiness platform.
I thought you were going to say you're going to go back to selling fruit.
I still have a farm.
Leave corporate to go back to selling fruit.
Well, I still do. We still have a primary produce business, but it's banana leaves, right? We supply banana leaves right around the country. I don't do any of it. I just take the credit. Okay. But the development of these products was essentially because I saw that people were chasing and chasing and chasing. They were getting 15 investment properties, but still they were poor. Okay? They were pumping themselves up, but then they were crashing because they just didn't love themselves enough, because they still needed someone's validation. You know, you're doing great.
I feel good, man.
You feel great, yeah. So, and the leadership framework was really designed to let large corporates become great without losing their mind. So someone like yourself can take it into your corporation, transform the organisation in a structured manner. UTS professors say this is the most complete management framework they've ever seen anywhere in the world, which makes me feel good. But the other stuff is really fundamentals to give you the strength to be the best you. So you feel good all the time. The danger is when you start going up and down, right? What happens? You feel great, you feel great, you feel great. It's exhausting. That's the danger of this country today. At least 50% of people in the workplace say that they've been bullied, right?
Yes.
48% of people are feeling some level of anxiety and restlessness and stress and depression. The major cause of death for 14-year-olds to 44-year-olds is suicide. And no one talks about this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Only after the fact, don't they?
Then they feel sorry, but then they go back into their crap.
So there's no preventative measure?
Until now, the happiness platform, okay? Happiness platform equips you to be strong, balanced and happy. And there's 13 tools, just choose one. And it just makes you feel awesome. And of course, master the art of sales. When you know who you are, it gives you the skill set to show off who you are.
That's right, yeah.
What's the point of having all these degrees and being, successful, having all this inside confidence if you don't know how to present and close?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Master the Art of Sales was born. Because when you know how to do that, success is guaranteed, right? Don't get me wrong. Getting no's is still good, but it can be quite a headache if you keep bumping into the walls, right?
It can be emotionally taxing. So
you don't want that.
Having that sort of being level-headed and being happy with yourself and being able to cop those no's, that's being emotionally fit to cop those no's. Because I know we're in sales here as well, so we know what it's like to get rejected and to spend days with clients and then all of a sudden we get a no, and we've all been through it. Whoever's been in sales will know what it feels like, where you've done all of this work, and it really comes down on your personal development and how strong you are up here. And this is what the happiness platform does for you.
This is what the happiness platform does for you. And here's the deal. People think that I'm not in sales. You're in sales. Every single one of you are in sales, right? You go out and talk to your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You're in sales. You're trying to convince them to love you, to cherish you, to give you a cuddle, right? You think you're not in sales, you're an accountant? You go and present your product. You come into the board meeting and you're presenting what the numbers mean. I will buy it based on the confidence in which you present and how you get me to engage and say yes, right? And what Sales Mastery, Master Art of Sales does is just equips you how to use your words to get people to say yes. And that makes sense, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
See, all of you. It's
Yeah.
just simple, learned technique.
I think it resonates with everyone because all three of us played very different roles in company in the business. And you are right, Roh. Everyone is in sales. It doesn't matter what I couldn't be further from sales in my career. But as a matter of fact, I am in sales. And I understand that, and I think that's where we go wrong, is that we don't think we're in sales. So, you know what, that's got to do with sales. I'm not going to go and touch that. I don't need to know about that. So I'm just going to leave that there.
I think it's looked at as sales is looked at as like a dirty word, like it's a slimy word. And we've talked about sales quite a bit on our podcast because it's part of everyday business for us. Every one of our businesses revolves, it's either selling yourself or upselling a product or a service. And for our listeners out there or our viewers as well, that even when you go for a job, you're selling yourself at an interview, right? Even if you're going for that accounting job, you've got to sell yourself at the interview. And sales is not just, going in and pitching. It's the full package. It's how you present yourself. It's how you feel on the inside, mentally. There's so many factors that contribute to the sales process, but people overlook it because they think, okay, I'm not in sales, I don't need to do it, so they don't upskill themselves, right? So for me, for example, sales is my main skill. Being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, I need those sales skills every single day. Like today, I can tell you, I dealt with property managers, I dealt with a plumber, an air conditioning technician. I had to sell myself to these guys because I was negotiating, right? Negotiations is part of the sales process as well. I'm negotiating quotes, all of those sort of things, right? So if you don't have sales skills or even basic sales skills, you're basically going to go through life getting ripped off.
You're going to get ripped off, you're going to shortchange yourself, okay? Here's the deal. Even though we say it's the art of sales, it's actually the science and art of sales. For example, those no's, each one of those no's you got today is worth $1 amount. Because when you know your ratios, and I know numbers inside out, I love numbers. You bring any accountant here, tell them to pitch numbers to me, and I will tell the best story out of it, right? Because I break all my plans down to the ridiculous. I know exactly how many calls I have to make to get that one meeting. How many presentations I have to make to get that one proposal. How many proposals I need to get that dollar amount I need. Because each proposal has a dollar value on average. So every time someone says no to me, I say thank you, right? I just made 50 grand or 10 grand or whatever the number is, $50. Do you see the attitude change?
When you see it in a positive light.
When you start loving no, and this is why I love Tom Hopkins, right? I go to HR directors, with respect, I love these guys, some of them I've coached, they've got no idea.
Oh, I can back that.
Yeah, they go, oh, we've developed this in-house sales program, let me have a look.
Oh,
who developed
rubbish.
that? Some trainer developed it. How many days did they spend in the field selling? How many people have said no to them where they just couldn't handle it anymore? How many times could they not buy that proper lunch and they had to go without because they did not get enough yeses? Only these people are qualified to teach you how to sell, right? I do not put any of my salespeople in front of these type of trainers with total respect. But you combine, they take those trainers and you bring someone who's felt that pain, has mastered the science and the art, and together they develop this unbelievable programs. And then HRD looks great, right? And I'll tell you now, it's easy. You can train anybody to do great in a lot of the markets out there today. But when this baby tightens the economy, then you'll see who's made of gold. And it's only those people that invest in themselves, right? And master, I saw the book over there that you've got, okay? That practice, drill, and rehearse will shine. Corporations, there's millions, I had sometimes tens of millions of dollars in marketing budget. I had thousands of sales staff. And people would go in and go, yeah, we get our numbers. I go, yeah, but I think we can double. You're at 700 million. I think we can do 1.5 billion. They go, mate, we've been around for 100 years. We can't do that. Oh, okay. Well, why don't you just let me try it? And they think I've come up with some beaut gem of a strategy and it's unbelievable, it's not going to last. All it is making people more efficient by skilling them, giving them the right incentive programs, right? You know all about that.
Yes.
Okay? A reason to get up in the morning and leap out of bed rather than going, oh gosh, I've got to go and face those people again, etc. So it's a complex business sales, but it can be simplified with the right leader. Right? Put a CEO who has not served in the coalface and they will butcher your company. Look at Telstra right now. Okay? My wife's a CPA and accountant, so I can say this. It's either generally accountants or sales guys that lead companies. They put sales guys to lead companies when they need transformation, turnaround, where it needs to be customer orientated, customer care, etc. but then they feel secure and they think, oh, I'm going to put this guy that can talk with the board, is safe, you know, it's not rogue, it's conservative. What a